Yahoo, Prof here with another tech update for you. We've got a big one. Lots of stuff has happened. Let's get going. Alright, first up, we got my repair PC, Drybones, X79. Hopefully you've seen some of the pics of that on Twitter. Eventually I'll do a proper update. That's a Scepter 4K that I got for $180 a couple Black Fridays ago. Good for the money. Can't stand 27-inch 4K. Everything's way too tiny. First up here, if you can see, that is actually a new mat. Right here, we've got the new Gigantus V2. Love the original Gigantus. Was about a 15 or 16 inch proper thick, probably a little bit thicker than the new one actually. Soft pad. I still have one or two kicking around here. Really like it. As of the V2, they now have desk mats as well. This is the double XL or XXL right there. And originally I had a HyperX pad here. It was getting a bit grody though. And this pad is like a true cloth surface. I don't know if you can hear that there, but a nice rougher, not that slip silky neoprene. And then on the bottom here, we definitely have some proper foam rubber. So if you like your classic cloth mouse pad, Gigantus or Gigantus V2. Little Razer logo in the corner here. Not as tall as the HyperX. It would have gone up to here. Not stitched. Some people prefer that though, because stitching can kind of like rub your arm. I remember that's why they had both a stitched and non-stitch of the original Gigantus. And they actually have a 3XL that is 4 foot, I think, by 2 foot roughly. So this is a 3 foot by 3 foot desk, or technically like a kitchen table that I'm using as a desk. That might be something to look at. Proper cloth, which you don't necessarily see with all the neoprene pads in the market. Next up, we've got the replacement 10 gig QNAP Ethernet adapter. Came from B&H. That has to go in there. As you'll see, I need the 10 gig Ethernet out of here that I'm borrowing from the server, so I get the server up and running. And if you haven't seen this in previous Twitter or other tech updates, this is actually my WASD V2, the one that I broke the micro B port on. Rip all the RMAs. It is now basically converted to a V3 with Type C, aluminum. That is a hefty aluminum chassis here, like hefty. And then those are the amazing Chocolatier keycaps, design, sort of based on Willy Wonka. That's why you see the golden ticket there. I think those turned out really well with that kind of gunmetal gray case. Matched it with one of these wrist rests that I have from back in the day on Geek Hack. Amazing, if you ask me. Alright, if you notice we're missing a speaker up there. Let's take a look why over here. Got it pulled apart. Squeers was over the other day. We were going to listen to some tunes or some YouTube, and there was quite a whine out of this thing. So it's actually down there right now with the actual speakers or drivers. But here is the electronics part. And if we look real close here, well, not even real close, if you see that capacitor is a bit bulgy. And it let out its shmoo everywhere. So I'm going to see if I can fix that, because, worst case I break it more? It's already broken. So, and this should be pretty easy. Pop this apart. I'm going to replace both caps right away, and if this goes well, going to replace them with the other speaker, because if one of them went, highly likely that one will go, and the other ones. And before I put them on, I need to probably remove these diodes, just so I can clean that up properly there. Maybe even that set of wires there. But I'll clean up that shmoo, and hopefully that gets rid of the whine. Usually, if you guys are wondering, on a powered speaker, if there is a whine to it, it's probably a cap. And in this case, if you ever wondered what exploded capacitor looks like, exploded/leaking capacitor, they usually got a bulge like that. See? No bulge, and then that happens. So, or if you're doing any PC repair and people are like, oh, what is it? look like. You're welcome to use this video or any of the pictures I have up on Twitter for reference. Hopefully I'll be able to get this back up and running. These are my original studio monitors. They're M Audio BX5As. For now, we're just using the one. And on my old school audio interface, this is a Roland Edirol FA66. We have a toggle right there for mono. So right now we're just running on one speaker. That's the one thing about these older audio interfaces that is real nice. You want to turn it up? You turn it up. You want to turn on phantom power? Phantom power. You want to do mix? There's mix. You're not messing around with software. That's why I keep that one around. It is Firewire, so this is about the only computer I still have that can use it. Just like this, even though Type-C is running as PS2. And here's a look at a Rival 106, my current favorite mouse. Got these nice trays from Tactical Keychains, just keeping all the screws separated. Right below that, we have an upgrade. If you saw the last tech update, you know I have a laptop again. And with my previous Blade Stealth, 512 gig was not enough. So here we upgraded to, I wanted a 970 Evo Plus, couldn't find them in 2 terabyte anywhere for a reasonable price. And say we pop up that there you see 1.72 of 1.81 terabytes. So went straight to 2 terabytes. 1 terabyte drives are actually really reasonable right now. 2 terabytes are kind of where they've been for a while. But I'll have this up on Twitter with some benchmarks. If you have any questions on the upgrade, let me know. Razer did actually, I don't remember this in the previous Blade Stealth, late 2019, but it's right about here, and they actually did use a thermal pad to the bottom of the chassis, so that should help with cooling. I'm going to say this was at least 2 times as fast, if not 3. So, yeah. Got all the space I need for editing, as well as a bit more speed out of that. Last thing, which is what Screws stopped over and was kind of helping me with here. We have, here's the server. I think you've seen this a couple times. Define 7 XL, running a X470 Crosshair 7 Hero, the only motherboard that'll work from this gen with what I wanted. I've had this hardware for a while now, just kept getting pushed back, so X570 would be far more optimal. But you can split 8X, 4X, 4X, and that's off PCI or the chipset. So whereas most X570 board or X470 boards, even though they're capable of splitting it by 8 by 4 by 4, most only do by 8 by 8, and I need that extra by 4. What we did is we got all of the drives moved over. I am painting the white caddies, which will fill top to bottom 12 bays. I'm painting them brown, just like these Noctua fans here, and hopefully that'll look good. I couldn't get enough black trays. Buddy sent over a couple. Thanks a bunch. Helped him with a build, and he had the same case, so I got a couple trays from him, but it still wasn't enough. But I could buy 12 white ones, so if we're going to paint them anyway, why not? So it's kind of just a temporary configuration of that storage there. The last thing that would be kind of interesting is on this, it is just a modular connector. What that is that's front panel audio. I would never use that normally, but especially on a server. So why have to cable manage that wire when you can just unplug it? Sometimes you have to take off that whole port area, and then I will plug up those connectors so people know not to use them. Just a tip, like if you're not using front panel audio, why cable manage that? Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed this tech update. It's a bit longer than usual, and I went into quite a bit of detail, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback or any questions on anything I showed you, let me know. Hopefully I'll have stuff over on the Twitter as I fix up, especially that speaker, as well as work on some more stuff down here, and we'll see you in the next one.